Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call in, 570-530-8316. Guys, let's get it started. PBC on pay-per-view. $80, by the way. Beeb, $80 for this. A lot of money. A lot of money. Was the card, before we even talk about it, that card was not an $80 card.
And then it actually underperformed too. I mean, the main event wasn't too bad.
You're right. You're 100% right.
The rest of the card wasn't the greatest.
Well, and a lot of times, like especially with cards and stuff, you'll say, man, that's not a pay-per-view card. But then you get there and the fighters perform above and beyond, man, and it turns out to be a good show. This wasn't that.
Wasn't that, no.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, man, who knows? Louis 4554. I couldn't agree more. Eric is the most handsome boxing reporter on YouTube. Beeb, get that guy his shirt, find out his address, find out everything. You get him what he asked for. I agree. Comment of the night. Do we even need to go any further with this? We don't.
Take care of him.
I'm leaving it up. That's how I do it. Lamont Roach versus Cruz for the interim WBC Super Lightweight title. I'm just cracking up every time I say WBC and it's interim or something because we'll get to them later on in the show.
There was a lot of interim titles on the.
A lot of interims, right?
Almost every fight on that card had some sort of title attached to it, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Somebody got paid.
Yeah.
Cruz and Lamont Roach fought to a draw in the main event. 115-111 for Cruz, and then 113-113 twice on the other two scorecards. Listen, man, it was a tough fight to score. I had it 116-110 for Roach, but that being said, there was a lot of close rounds.
Yeah.
I know Roach was upset with another draw, but listen, man, he had all night to separate himself. He was doing just enough in the close rounds for me to give him the edge. But the judge, they saw it the other way. And, a lot of people were saying, he got robbed. He didn't get robbed.
I don't think he got robbed.
He didn't get robbed. You want to win the fight? Go take the fight. You know what I mean? Go out there. You had plenty of time to separate yourself in those rounds. When you were backing Cruz up, when Cruz wasn't doing much, you had plenty of time to get busy. You didn't. You stand around and you waited. I thought you won the fight. I gave you the rounds. But listen, I'm not crying because it was a draw or if you lost.
Well, yeah, he had to
see that fight both ways. They were close rounds.
Yeah, he had to dig himself out of a hole. I had him losing the first 3 rounds, and you can argue he may even have lost the first 4, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you throw because that 4th round I gave to him, but it was close, like you said. And then you had the 10-8 round in there, and then you ask yourself, was he fighting that way because Cruz was making him fight that way early on, pressuring him? Or was he just trying to make a statement and try to get his respect and prove a point to the fans that I can hang in there with this guy, right? It's hard to say because, he was doing okay on the inside, but early on he seemed like he was a little bit out of sorts. He was a little bit uncomfortable with the pressure. Cruz was throwing a lot of body shots, and then he kind of worked his way through in the middle rounds, and he closed the show very strong. I think, let me look at my card here. I had him reeling off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row. I had him winning 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then I had Cruz winning the 11th, and then I had him winning the 12th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had him winning 5 of the last 6 rounds, but I had the first 6 4-2 for Cruz. So yeah, I mean, it was one of those types of fights where some of those rounds were left on the table, as you said, and you were finding yourself saying, someone's got to do do something here for me to kind of edge it that way, right?
Yeah.
And when all the rounds are like that, then you can't really, like you said, you can't complain, because when it's hard to determine at the end of the round, you have to think for a second, who am I going to give this to? Because this was real close. If numerous rounds in the fight end up being like that, then the scorecards are going to be all over the place.
Well, I tell you what, Blue Tang, 57-34, I think had it right. He said Roach wanted to brawl instead of boxing, and he cost himself the fight.
Yeah,
and he did. He 100%. Roach, having a guy come forward, Roach can box.
They can box very well.
He can box very well. Why he chose to do what he did last night? Listen, you got nobody to blame except the mirror, man. Go look in the mirror and you blame that guy. You're going to be sick when he sits back and watches this fight again.
Then he said he broke his hand in the 5th round too. So obviously that may have had somewhat of an impact on it, but I don't know.
There you go.
How bad was the hand injured? We don't know.
But let's face it. Do you want to see this fight again? Is anybody clamoring to see this fight again?
It was a good fight.
You don't want to see this fight again.
No, it was a good fight, but it wasn't one of them. It wasn't a great fight. So it was not. It's not something that like, wow, I want to see that again. No, I'm actually agreeing with you, but it was not a bad fight, but it wasn't a barn burner either. Like the first 6 rounds of the fight were okay, and then like Cruz started moving around, and then Roach started, like you said, just tried to like nick those rounds. Once Cruz started backing up a little bit and not being as aggressive, that was the time for him to really step on the gas there and try to make a statement. And he didn't do that. Now, whether or not the movement was troubling him, it's just hard to say, because we've seen Lamont Roach box. We've seen him pot shot from the outside. He pot shotted from the outside against Tank. He wasn't trading with Tank, the whole fight or for long stretches of the fight like he did in this fight in the pocket, right? He was using his distance. He was using his range. He was using his jab a lot more, and in this fight, he wasn't using his jab as much. He was just laying on the inside. And the only reason why Cruz was holding him is because he was right there in front of him, allowing Cruz to hold him. And I don't agree with the referee taking a point away from Cruz. I don't think the holding was that bad either. I hate when the referee interjects themselves in the fight and they interfere with the scoring and have an impact on the scoring of the fight.
Texas. Texas shouldn't get any more fights, man.
Yeah, and Texas,
they always seem to jack it up.
The referees in Texas, to me, always seem to be a tad bit overly officious. They always do. You got, who's that guy? Lawrence Cole. He's another guy.
Oh, he's terrible.
He always has to say something. Always every 2 seconds he's got to
they're coming to see him.
Yeah, every 2 seconds he's got to stop the action and reprimand them. It's just a lot of grandstanding. We don't need that.
Yeah,
we don't need that.
The Jack Reeseism. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, Jack Reese is another.
Reese is another one.
Another showboater.
They should bring in, if they do big fights in Texas. If I were them, I would see if we can bring in another commission to judge.
Yeah,
like bring in some people from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Well, that's what they do when they took the fight to Memphis. Those judges weren't from Memphis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do that when they, certain places will use other commissions.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. And I mean, Raphael said Cole did good last night. It's great.
He normally doesn't.
You're right. I mean, when we know his name, how many referees do you really? You know what I mean? Like, out of all the referees in the fights we've seen, how many referees do you really know?
Yeah, and Joe Cortez. He has this reputation for being such a great referee. I don't think he was a good referee either. I thought he blew a lot of calls.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of his either.
He's fair but firm. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He does suck.
He's not a good referee. I don't think he's a great referee.
Yeah, Emmys, he had a 115, 111 for Roach. Yeah, like I said, man.
I had it 114 and 112 for Roach. I had it 7 rounds to 5.
Yeah, 116, 111 I had. And
you had
Roach,
8 rounds to 4, yeah. The average fan scorecard on BoxRec was 116, 111. They had it 8 to 4.
Yeah. But again, Roach didn't do anything to separate himself. So if he's in there and, you don't get the nod this time, then that's just tough. I mean, it is what it is. You're in there. You're in the guy's hometown. You know he's the favorite. You're right there. You're right there in Texas. You know they're going to be rooting for him.
Yeah.
He's the story. He's the A side. He really is. He's the A side.
Absolutely.
All right. So you go in there and you don't do much to separate yourself. Yeah. Then your fate. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know. Chad said he called the draw. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. But as far as like where these guys go, I mean, I don't know. Roach is now his next fight. He's going to get, and I'm sure it'll be a good fight. He'll probably get a big name, and Isak will probably get another good name. But they're going to run this back. They're probably going to run it back, right?
I'm not sure if they do run it back. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. But PBC is not really big on doing rematches. I noticed you don't see too many rematches in the PBC.
Yeah, let's just keep it moving, man. We don't need to see this again. It wasn't. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not.
We just saw it in that first. It was a good fight.
But
it wasn't like something I'd watch again.
It's not a fight of the year contender.
No, not even close.
Not even close,
man.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, not even close to a fight of the year contender.
I'm on board with you this time with the rematches.
Yeah,
like I said, you've swayed me again. Like you've had an influence over me when it comes. I used to be open to rematches a lot more than I am now. Like I'm starting to hate rematches now because of your influence. Every week you're telling me how bad rematches are, and I'm like, you know what? He's kind of right.
It's like watching a movie over and over and over again. Yeah. Unless it's a good movie, I don't want to watch it again. Unless it's a classic, I ain't watching it again.
Yeah. Yeah, like Canelo Crawford, they're talking about doing a rematch there. I have no desire to see that.
Go right ahead. I don't want to see it.
I have no desire to see that.
Yeah. Matchroom does love rematches. Yeah, Louis 45 says Matchroom loves rematches.
Well, Eddie thinks
right.
Yeah, Eddie thinks it's his duty to put a rematch clause in every single fight.
Right. Well, too, because they're nine times out of 10, his fighters fighting each other. So why not? Hey, let's put a rematch in there. Let's do it again. That way Matchroom collects.
He's not a promoter. He's a manager.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like most promoters are starting to be managers.
They're all managers now. We don't have promoters in the sport of boxing anymore. We have managers.
Yeah. So the main event was okay. It was just an okay fight too. It wasn't like a crazy fight. It wasn't like I fell off my chair at any point or got excited or came out of my seat at any point.
That was an uneventful card last night. There was no. I didn't find myself getting any adrenaline rush at all watching.
No, right? And he's right. Horrible pay-per-view. 100% it was a horrible pay-per-view.
It wasn't a great pay-per-view.
$80 that you guys paid for that garbage. That we paid for that garbage.
Robbie bought it too.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned IPTV. I don't know what that is.
Now, what is that?
I don't know. And I've got a master's degree in this stuff. In case you guys didn't know.
Does that have something to do with the flame stick or the glow stick? What is that?
A stick. The
glow stick.
Put in your TV. The TV.
Does it actually go on the TV? I didn't even know it went in the TV.
How is it going to go into the TV?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, why would you put something flammable in the TV like a fire?
Why would I put something called a fire stick next to something electronic?
That's
right. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
And like I said, man, I've got a master's in IT, and I don't know what that is. So if I don't know what that is, it probably is not good, right? Okay. There it is. You said okay.
I'm agreeing with you.
All right, let's move ahead to the co-main here. O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton for the WBC Super Featherweight. All right, you're going to have to correct me on this because I know it's...
The WBC Interim Lightweight title was on the line because Fulton
even though he missed
weight at 130, and Mauricio Suleiman goes on Twitter and says, in order to save the card.
Oh, right.
We've never had fights before when a guy blows weight, like with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
Oh, of course. And then it's going to cost him too,
Yeah, and then the fight still went on without the title being on the line for Ryan. But
so that's awesome. So Mauricio came out of pocket to pay those sanctioning fees, huh? And save the card?
Not at all.
No, that didn't happen. No.
See, every fight on the card had fighters. Almost every fight on the card had fighters paying sanctioning fees. So this is
right.
This is a money grab, right? This is a money scam.
Beautiful. Mauricio's a hero.
Yeah. He's on there saying he had to put a title on the line in order to say, if people are still, if anyone supports this BS, then you're either willfully ignorant, you're on the payroll, or you got money from the organization.
No.
Somehow.
Stop it. That's slanderous.
I know.
I won't. I know it's slanderous.
I'll put myself out there. I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. I'm so sick of this.
Terrible.
I'm embarrassed.
That's a terrible view on it. That's a terrible view.
I'm embarrassed.
That's horrible.
For boxing right now.
All right. So listen, the fight comes off. The crazy part about it, like I said, Fulton's coming up in weight, and he still missed weight. He was like 2 pounds heavy. 2.
Now he's saying
2 pounds, son. How are you 2 pounds over the limit? How?
Now
That's 7 pounds.
Yeah, now he's saying he wants to go up to 140, Fulton.
And why don't you just go to 160 while you're at it? I mean, why stop there?
Yeah, I was surprised at how
Dude, no, don't go up any more weight, because he looked awful last night, by the way. That's the worst I've ever seen him look.
Correct.
It really is.
Yes.
And this guy was knocked out by Inoue, wasn't he? That was the one. Yeah, Inoue stopped him.
Yes.
And he looked better in that fight than he did here. Let me tell you that. Foster, Shockey Foster, man, easy unanimous decision. 117, 111, 119, 109, and 118 to 110, all for Foster. Again, man, you got to question Fulton's commitment here, because he looked awful. He really did. You can't even say you were weight drained. You didn't cut the weight. No. You didn't even make the weight. No. I don't want to hear you say you were weight drained. You can't say that. It doesn't work now. Fulton has always been so disciplined. I was surprised. I really, like I said, man, I was surprised
shocked
he came in.
Make weight, and I was also shocked at how
he looked. Kadali Bodiang says he looked out of shape. Right.
I was surprised how non-competitive the fight was too.
Right.
Yeah.
That was, on paper, sans, Janibek pulling out or getting pulled out, whatever you want to say. That was the fight of the night. That's the fight you're looking forward to, because those guys can go.
Yeah.
Those two guys can fight. It's an even matchup. I looked at it like an even matchup.
Shock Foster really has a lot of layers to his game. And there's certain fights where he fought like Consacao. I was saying to myself, damn, this guy was kind of stinking the joint out a little because he wasn't throwing a lot of punches, because he's a counter puncher, right? But he can step to guys when he needs to or when he wants to, right? He's got a really, really quick jab. He's not a explosive guy, like in terms of power, but he's got a bit of quickness to him. He's got a lot of snap, a lot of snap to those shots. There's a surprise element to those shots. It's hard to time those shots coming out from him, because he's just so quick, and he throws that jab like a dart. You know what I mean? So he's a really, really well-rounded, versatile fighter, and he switched things up a lot against Fulton. There were times where he kind of lay back and sucked Fulton in, and then when Fulton was really wasn't getting off first, he wasn't waiting on him. He would step forward. He would take it to him when he had to, right? Yeah. So you got to give him credit. He showed a lot of different layers last night, and he threw a lot more punches than I'm used to seeing him throw. And I was happy about that, and I was impressed with that as well. So full credit to him. He did all he was supposed to do. It was a very, very impressive performance from him. And Fulton he looked flat. And again, was he in shape? Did he train properly? Was there something going on in that camp? All I know is from everything that transpired leading up to the fight and going into the fight on fight night, didn't seem like this was one of his better training camps. Let's just leave it at that.
It was, he didn't look good at all. Yeah. I mean, he really didn't look good at all.
Something had to have gone wrong. They were going at each other at the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and they talking and everything. Man, JC is 100% right. Foster has improved a lot from the first time we seen him to now. Yeah, he's really upped his game, I thought. Well, I mean, he's just you could say he's improved, and that was even mentioned by Joe Goosen during the broadcast, or is he just showing things that he always had, but he just never thought he needed to show? Could be a combination of both.
Why not bring it out? You know what I mean? I mean, because he could have won fights a lot easier if he would. You know what I'm saying? So no, I believe
it's like
he's
Shakur
gotten
Stevenson.
better. It wasn't like he came out of a box like this.
It's like Shakur Stevenson, like when he fought Zepeda. We saw him really do some entertaining things in that fight because he was forced to do so.
For sure,
right?
man.
So,
for sure. All right, so let's talk about this here. Janibek popped for what did he pop for here?
Meldonium.
What does meldonium do?
It has something to do with like the circulatory system. I believe it. Maria Sharapova was a tennis player that was actually prescribed this medicine, and it's for people that have like issues with their heart, circulation with their heart and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, this wasn't on the banned substance list. It only got put on the banned substance list, I believe, in 2016 when Alexander Povetkin also popped positive for it.
I remember that. It was for the Wilder fight, wasn't it?
Correct. And then they ended up scrapping that fight and never rescheduling it. So this is like a medication for people that have circulatory problems related to their heart, from what I understand, from what I've read.
Yeah.
And not a lot of research has been done on this because it's not really a prevalent drug in America. It's mostly used in Eastern Europe. So you don't hear too many people tell you they've been prescribed meldonium that live in the West,
right.
in the West or in the United States. So this has always been an Eastern European thing. So here's the problem we have. Because it's such a rare drug, right? And because it's really hard to have it contaminated in other drugs, it's not something like Ostarine that there's always been a history of that having trace elements of that being in other supplements or other substances. I've never heard of any like trace elements of meldonium in someone's system. I don't know. So he's saying he doesn't know how it got in his system. This is one drug that I don't really have a lot of knowledge of. I mean, there's not a lot of research that's been done on it. And
like for PED performance enhancing, why would he take it?
They're trying to say that it works as helps to increase stamina. In other words, right? Because of the blood flow. Whenever you get like something that's good for your like a vasodilator that helps
so
you.
So like Cialis would be good. Would that be a PED?
Can I be honest with you? A lot of people say that it helps them throughout their workouts because
it's a vasodilator. You're right.
It's a vasodilator. When you have the blood flow and you get the NO2 uptake, right?
Yep.
Gives you because your blood's carrying the oxygen, right? So when you have a steady flow of blood going to all your muscles, that helps you with stamina, helps you get through fatigue, and helps you get through muscle fatigue and all that stuff. So I guess that's the argument, but again, they don't know because they've really never done extensive research on this drug. And I remember when they first put it on the banned substance list, people were asking, like, why is this even on the banned substance list? Do we really even know that this is a PED? And and that's with a lot of drugs. And I remember that the guy, Travis Tygart, he used to work for USADA, and I believe he works for the UFC now, if I'm not mistaken. And he would always say, like, every year they put more and more drugs and substances on this banned substance list, and they don't even really have research done on a lot of it. So they just put these drugs on there. It's almost as if, well, this could possibly be a performance enhancer. So you know what? Let's just throw it on the list just in case. So again, I don't have a lot of knowledge about this drug. I just read about it, and because there's not been a ton of research done on it, because I don't know people who have taken it, I can't really, like a lot of these other drugs. I know people have taken them. Some of them I've even taken at some point in my life. So I have an idea of some of these drugs, but this is one drug I have virtually zero knowledge of. So I can't really tell you what it does, and if it works, if it doesn't work. But like with Austrian, everyone that I've run into about Austrian says it sucks, and it's something that they would never. It's like the bargain. It's like the bargain basement of drugs.
Right.
So I can tell you about Austrian and some of the other substances and some of the stimulants, but this one I can't really break it down for you. But it was in a system. It's on the list. You gotta follow the rules, right?
Yeah.
You got to follow the rules. If they could say it's a PED, it may whether it is or it isn't. Once it's on the list, you can't have it in your system.
Right.
So.
Well, that's it. If it's on the list. Now, somebody asked me in the chat as Janabek, what about the B sample? The B sample has been requested by Janabek and his team.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference.
Listen, it comes from the same thing. So if they tested him, but I thought that he had like a trace amounts, like the right amount in his system to actually fight.
I guess there's an allowable amount now that from what I understand too.
Then he was over the allowable. If he didn't fight, then he was over the amount.
But then I remember in 2016 they raised. I think they lowered or raised the. I'm trying to remember if they raised the allowable amount or they lowered the allowable. I think they may have lowered at one point the allowable amount. Of meldonium. So they made it even more stringent than it was before, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, look, it is what it is, Anyway, he's out, so
There was a time when caffeine was on that banned substance list.
Oh, for sure. Well, aspirin. Like you said, aspirin in the chat.
Aspirin, aspirin was on it, yeah.
So Johan Gonzalez steps up to fight for the WBA middleweight title against Erislandy Lara. Lara wins by unanimous decision, another walkover, 120-106, 118-108, 119-107. Listen, I would have loved to seen Janabek in there because I think Janabek wins that fight pretty easy. But we got what we got, and that fight was not. Any comments on it? I mean, Lara didn't look great in there. I mean, he won the fight, but I mean, who was he fighting?
Yeah, that was, and again, Maestro. I was talking to Maestro this morning about this, and he mentioned he's like, Lara is that type of guy, it's not. This isn't to justify anything. Yeah. It's not to make an excuse, but he is that type of guy that fights down to the level of his opposition. Because we've seen Lara being barn burners, right?
Well, few and far between because Lara, for the most part, they were acting like he's an action-packed fighter.
He's never.
No.
He's once again, when you're a counterpuncher by nature,
right?
If you're in there with someone who's not bringing the fight to you, then it's like Shakur. Shakur is a counterpuncher by nature as well too.
Yeah.
So we may run into a problem with Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur in January because they're both counterpunchers by nature who are not volume punchers. Yeah. So hopefully that fight's not a stinker.
Raphael says he thinks that Lara would have gave Janabek a run for his money.
I think he would. I think he would have too. I think Lara's style is a real tricky, pesky style. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Lara fan. I think he's a really good fighter.
I think he's past his expiration date.
He probably is, but
I want to see him fight somebody. This would have been great, but hey, it's not his fault that the guy tested positive.
I was so aggravated because this was the one fight that
on the card with Janabek.
This was the
one fight, right?
Was this my favorite fight on the card? Now, other people may have been looking forward to Roach versus Cruz more. Not me. This was my main event.
Yeah,
and I was angry when I heard that Janabek tested positive.
Yeah. Jesus Ramos versus Shane Mosley Jr. Ramos wins a unanimous decision, 116-112. And 117-111 twice. Nothing really to report there. The fight of the night for me, and the fighter of the night for me, was Frank Martin. Martin versus Rances Barthelemy. Listen, man, I didn't expect that at all, but Frank Martin knocked him out in the fourth round. It was a vicious straight left hand, right down the pipe, put him out. I mean, just put him out.
Yeah.
It was a good.
impressive
Great
little
performance.
left hand, you know.
I gave him the fight of the night. I thought he was the fighter of the night.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm kind of glad to see Frank Martin back in the mix. You know, he's
athletic. He's good.
Yeah.
He's got to rely less on his athleticism. I think.
Yeah.
Learn a little bit more boxing, but he's on the right track.
I mean, I don't hate that Richardson Hitchens fight. I don't hate that fight. Do I think he'll win it? I would pick Hitchens, but I don't hate the fight.
Put him in the ring. Let's
I don't
find
hate
out.
the fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I liked it, man. So good stuff. Across the pond in Australia, I didn't see TV for this or anything.
No.
And
Yeah,
this is the problem, man. Like, yeah.
What happened to Jai Opetaia? Wasn't he with Matchroom before? Now all of a sudden he's not with Matchroom anymore.
He's probably with some Australian outfit or something like that.
I don't know. He's got an Australian promoter now. I forget the name of the promotional outfit that he's with now. I've heard of them before, but it doesn't come to my mind right now. But he's with an Australian promotional outfit right now. But what happened to Eddie Hearn?
That was dumb. It was dumb. You have to get a nationally known promoter.
Yeah, you gotta get a promoter that has a TV deal, or you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
You know?
Jai Opetaia faced Huseyin Cinkara for the IBF Cruiserweight title. Yeah. Opetaia wins 8th round KO over Cinkara. Listen, no real surprise there. It was a one-sided
He had some shit moments though, but he, obviously.
I don't know. I'll tell you this right now though. He needs to start stepping up the competition.
Here's the thing. You want to start
stepping it up.
You want to fight guys like Zurdo Ramirez. Okay, but
great, but why am I going to fight you?
Yeah, you gotta.
You know what I mean? Like
you gotta kind of bring something to the table.
You gotta bring something. Right now, you're bringing nothing to the table.
Yeah, if you're fighting these guys that no one's heard of, and you're off television, and people have to search for your fights on YouTube. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but you got Zurdo Ramirez and David Benavidez. They're fighting on broadcast platforms.
Mm-hmm. And you're fighting a nobody in Australia.
Yeah, you're fighting in an obscurity right now. So
yeah, and I mean, I get you want to stay busy. I understand all that, and that's great. And do like Chavez did. Every couple of months you're fighting. Wonderful. Yeah. But man, listen, you've got a lot of hype behind you now.
Yeah.
It's time to either step up or just stay there.
Well, and that's the thing. That's your time. He does have a lot of hype behind him, but again, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but besides Breedis, name another name on that guy's resume.
100%. Yeah.
Because we hear guys tear down other people's resumes, particularly everyone loves to shred David Benavidez's resume.
Yeah, which is nonsense.
But his resume is better than Jai Opetaia's.
For sure it is.
My opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. And that was the fights. Let's go to the upcoming fights real quick. December 12th in the UAE, Kubrat Pulev. Yeah, he's still fighting, by the way.
I know, is that a saying?
Versus Murat Gassiev, who's also still fighting, by the way.
That is
for Pulev's WBA regular heavyweight title.
Oh my God.
Are we for real? Okay. So you're telling me that once he gets whoever wins this fight will be the number one contender for Usyk in the WBA.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody else? Really? There's nobody else that can be at the top of these two are it.
This is why I no longer recognize these. I acknowledge these titles, but I don't recognize them. They're meaningless to me.
I'd rather see Montero go and fight Usyk than either one of these two guys fighting Usyk.
I know.
Right? I mean, come on.
Let's be careful with Montero now, please. Show him some respect.
You show him some respect. You're the one that said he had a lazy jab, not
That's
me.
I love Montero.
Totally what you said.
I am a huge Montero fan.
Backing up now. Look at you backing up.
I'm in Georgia. He's on the.
Now you turn into a little hoe.
He runs the security team for me when I'm in Georgia. Please,
he runs the security team.
Don't disrespect Montero, please.
Stockton, California, on DAZN, December 13th. Diego Pacheco versus Kevin Sadijo. 12 rounds, super middleweights. Let's see what else we got. Badu Jack, December 13th in LA versus Michael John, Norair Michael John for Jack's WBC Cruiserweight title. I thought there was another was there another one? There's got to be one, right? That's it. No.
When's the Shakur? I think, is it the Shakur?
17th. No, Shakur is the 25th of December or January. And then Tokyo, let's see here.
Is
Who is
there a
it?
big fight
Anthony
coming?
Joshua's fighting on the 19th.
Correct.
It's the week after.
Can I ask you a question? Isn't there a big fight coming up on January 31st or no? Or am I too far out in the schedule? I don't want to get too
January
far.
31st.
Yeah. I don't want.
That's like a whole month away. That's over a month away.
Okay, I'm getting a little too far. I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I don't want to. What
are you doing? It's
I don't
a month away.
I don't want to screw up the routine.
It's a month away. No, that's a Shakur fight.
The schedule's not your job. Take it easy.
Give me security. Give me security.
Step back, Beeb.
Teofimo and Shakur is January 31st. You're right.
That's what I thought.
That's the big fight. That's the big fight.
That's the fight I'm obviously looking forward to.
All right. Let's talk about this Terrence Crawford thing, and then let's go to the phones here. Terrence Crawford was stripped of the WBC title. Who cares, right? Okay. Maurice Suleiman announced that Terrence Crawford was stripped of his WBC title. They wanted Crawford to pay $300,000 in sanctioning fees, and then acted like Crawford was a bum that he didn't pay it. First of all, I don't care how much Crawford got paid. They were acting like it's just a drop in the bucket. No. Crawford, they were like, he made around $50 million. No, first of all, I don't know that he did. He may have gotten paid $50 million, but what you get paid,
we don't even know if he got paid that. We don't even know if he got paid that. It hasn't been released. The official number has not been released.
No. And so $50 million, even if he got $50 million, you're saying he didn't give you $300,000. Man, shut up. Shut up. $300,000 is a lot to anyone. I don't care how much money you got.
You can buy a house where you live for $300,000.
You can buy Elon Musk for $300,000. See what he tells you. Because he's got money to burn.
You could buy a house in Omaha for $300,000, and it's not just $300,000. What if the other 3 sanctioning bodies asks for $300,000? Then that would be $1.2 million. And here's the thing: the other 3 sanctioning bodies, they didn't strip him. They took the amount that he negotiated with them, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing that they were trying to shake him down for the other $100,000 that I believe he owed them for the sanctioning fee for the fight for his title at 147, because he never paid a sanctioning fee for his title at 147 for the WBC title, and then they ended up.
They made him champion in recess.
They made him champion in recess, and they never stripped him. So if you had a problem with him not paying sanctioning fees. He didn't pay the sanctioning fee at 147, and you made him champion in recess. You never stripped him. He ended up vacating. So why did you allow him to fight for the title at 168? And let's pull up the actual rule here. Let's let everyone take a look at this. Right?
The WBC is a charity organization. Shut up. Just stop it. The integrity of the sport.
This is in their rules. Section 7.3 here. It says, no bout shall be sanctioned as a WBC contest unless the applicable boxer's sanction fees are agreed to and paid to the WBC in accordance with these rules. So unless you pay the fees, the fight's not supposed to be sanctioned. But they went ahead and sanctioned the fight before they collected the fees. So again, if you want the fighters to follow the rules, then you need to follow your own rules, because according to what's written there, and you correct me if I'm wrong, the way that's written there, they're supposed to collect the money up front. At least that's how it's written.
That's how it's supposed to be, right? Yeah, you collect the fees up front. That way you can sanction the fight.
Yeah. So you went ahead and sanctioned. In your rules, it says that the fighter is supposed to pay. And it even says, if you read it, the agreed upon. It doesn't. Where does it say 3% here, Eric? It says the
agreed upon.
The sanction fees that are agreed to. It says agreed to.
So what? So they take 3%. The other ones take 3%. You got 4 belts.
So where does this?
Now all of a sudden, 12% of your purse is gone. Stop. Just stop.
So again, The fighter makes the belt doesn't make the fighter. And then you can sit there and say, oh, well, he's where they're trying to say, oh, he got where he got to because of the belts. And I'm like, again, would anyone have cared if he never had a WBC title and he had a WBO or a WBA title? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Joshua never had a WBC title, and look how successful he is. Jake Paul never had a WBC title. Look how successful he is, right?
Yeah.
So
And
again,
and Suleiman will tell you 250 of that was going to go to the fighter fund. 50,000 would go to the organization of the WBC. 250,000. Great. What fighters are you currently helping? Aside from Gerald McClellan, what fighters? What retired fighters are getting checks from you every month?
Yeah,
from the special WBC pension.
How many fighters are actually getting taken care of? Is Terry Norris getting taken care of?
Meldrick Taylor,
Riddick Bowe.
Yeah. Who? Riddick Bowe. Yeah, Riddick Bowe especially.
Yeah. And Gerald McClellan's getting a little bit of money, but again, they still have to do like GoFundMe and stuff for that. Like,
and
so how much?
Not to mention, like Crawford said, that's right. The GoFundMe's, they all get this GoFundMe going on, because they're not getting paid.
And then you have this clean boxing program, and apparently you can't even afford to run that properly because fighters who are enrolled in it saying, well, we're not even getting tested. And then when people ask him about why aren't they getting tested, we don't have enough money. But you have enough money to fly around the world to Thailand and have these lavish conventions and seminars, and then you're flying your staff around too, and then you're flying all these fighters around and all these bigwigs around. You have enough money to eat these beautiful meals and be put up in these lavish hotels, and then you're crying about getting enough tickets for the Crawford fight, and you're telling the promotional company to make sure that I have a suite and everyone gets. And I have enough tickets for the people who I'm bringing to the fight. Like, who the fuck are you, brother? You're a nonprofit. You're a nonprofit. So you're not supposed to generate revenue. Obviously, you're a company. You're a company because you have employees and you got to pay your employees. Understood. But how much are you paying your employees a year?
Nick Khan. Yeah, the interview you sent me with Nick Khan.
Yeah,
was saying that Suleiman asked for like these crazy hotel rooms.
He wanted
suites.
He wanted suites for everybody.
All the food was supposed to be comped. All this stuff for what?
He wanted to make sure I get ringside seats. I'm close to the ring. Make sure I get enough tickets, and then make sure I'm able.
Anybody.
Let me ask you this: he was crying because he wanted to put the WBC belt around Crawford's waist. Did any of the other sanctioning bodies care about that? Did any of that?
No.
Did you ever hear of any other sanctioning body?
Because he's got to be on camera.
It's only him. So ask yourself this, right? Everyone's it's like going to a restaurant and not paying your. No, it's not. Mm-hmm. It's like being a waiter at that restaurant
and then, not getting tipped. That's what it's like.
And then getting a tip, and then you have to give the tip to your boss. When you go to work, you get paid to work. You don't pay to work. You get paid to work. How many fucking miles did Mauricio Suleiman run to prepare for this fight? How much sparring did he do? How many push-ups did he do? How many calisthenic exercises did this fat motherfucking... I gotta stop. I gotta stop.
We're not HR on you.
I apologize.
Come on.
I apologize. That was way over.
That was way out of line.
But what is this guy doing to prepare for this?
Way out of line.
Fight? He's not a promoter.
Stop.
You're out of line. How much money did he generate for this event?
Nothing.
He's not a promoter.
Nothing, because nobody comes to see the belt.
Listen, 41 million people watched Terrence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez in that ring and be named the undisputed champion. 41 million people, right? And then you had a $47.5 million gate. You had almost 70,000 people there live watching it. You watched it live, Mauricio. And then you put a WBC ring on his finger. You gave him a WBC t-shirt, a WBC hat, and you not only gave him one WBC belt, you gave him two WBC belts. And everyone saw you hand him two belts that night. So now you want to talk about a dine and dash. Now you want to extort this guy and you want to take away.
Because that's what it is.
What he earned. He earned it.
Extortion.
Why does he have to pay for something he earned and he won?
There you go. All right, let's go to Baltimore. 410. Jerry, you're live.
Hello? Yeah. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. B, you made it quite a spectacle of yourself Saturday.
Yeah.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Spectacle.
You are so emotional.
Emotional.
What you said a lot. It was like 8-9 hours. I don't know. I went and worked and all kinds of stuff. You were still blabbing on, and you're blabbing on now. So hopefully you'll let me say.
Are you still coming down off that bender? Come on, man. You want to talk about
Hopefully
emotional?
you will let me
When Coach
say.
Malachi, when Coach Malachi dips you in that deep fat fryer and cooks you every week, right? That's what I call emotional.
Well, hopefully at this point,
Jerry, can I be honest with you?
You know, you
Jerry,
can stop stomping your
can I be
feet
honest with you? Let me be honest with you, Jerry. Let me be honest with you. I'm actually going to agree.
Let me
finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. When someone's going to agree with you, you never cut them off. I'm actually going to agree with you, and I went a little bit over the top on some of the people yesterday, and I actually apologized to a few people yesterday. So I just get aggravated because here's the thing: when you tell me 2 + 2 is 5, it frustrates me a little bit. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, but what I also tell you is stomping your feet and insisting you're right is a very ineffective way of winning any type of debate.
Well, there was no really debate because there was nothing to debate. I was just I spoke
9 hours of debate.
But there wasn't a real debate because everything I said was factual.
Well, what I'm about to tell you is factual. Okay, if you let me get it off. And here's where it starts. Sanctioning bodies and sanctioning fees have been around for a long time. The fighters and their management are well aware of what they are. Some fighters have complained. Okay, that's good. I remember Miguel Cotto and HLD told you this, and I was thinking the same thing. He did not want to pay a $300,000 fee to the WBO when he fought, I think, Canelo.
No, it was WBC. It was WBC. It wasn't the WBO. It was WBC.
Okay, it was the WBC. Okay, well, he didn't want to pay it. And what he did is he dropped the belt. And that's what you do. You don't go along to get along and get everything that you want and then say, I'm not paying. I don't know what you're doing with the money. I don't know why you won't accept what the others. That's just, at the very least, it's bad business.
Well,
now, when it comes to Bud Crawford,
you have to read the rules.
Okay, but
they didn't follow their own rules. Here's their rules. It says sanctioning fees have to be agreed. Wait a minute.
I already heard that, bro.
They have to be agreed to and paid before the fight. And he already owed you sanctioning. He already owed you sanctioning fees. He already owed you sanctioning fees from the WBC.
How many times are you going to say the same thing?
Well, because you're not acknowledging it. You're expecting the fighter. Wait a minute. You can't expect a fighter to follow. Wait a minute. You can't expect a fighter to follow the rules if you don't follow your own rules.
Got a point.
And first of all, you don't know these things.
I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Do you know back in the day?
That several times.
You know when sanctioning fees first came about? Sanctioning fees didn't come about until the 90s.
Right.
And you know in the 90s, before fighters actually paid them, the fighters never paid them before.
The promoters paid them.
The promoters used to pay them.
You
don't know what you're talking about. You're arguing a point like HLD, and you don't know what you're talking about. Because there was a time. That's a straw man. That's a straw man. You're not refuting points. You're not refuting.
You're not letting me finish.
Because there was a time when sanctioning fees were not paid by the fighter. There was a time when sanctioning fees were not paid by the fighter.
All right, let me talk, Dave.
It
only happened until the 90s.
That's not the case now. During Bud Crawford's career, coming into the Canelo fight, he had 8 belts just in undisputed titles alone, plus the WBA belt he got from Madrigal, which is 9, plus the belt he won at 135.
Why did only one organization strip him? Why did only one organization strip him? Why did only one? He had 8 titles, and out of those 8 titles, one organization stripped him, and then they never collected a sanctioning fee at 147. And you know what they did? They made him a champion in recess. So if you're not going to follow your own rules, why should
you don't even know what you're talking about there? You don't know what happened there. HLD told you what happened, but you ignored it.
I know 100% what happened there. That's why.
Well, here's the deal. Crawford knew what the deal was.
That they were trying to get that other 100,000 from him from the fucking welterweight fight too. So again,
because he wanted to keep the title.
Okay, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
If you don't negotiate the sanctioning fee before the fight,
can't do it with him. He's too emotional.
You're talking and he's talking.
He
Stop
wants
talking.
to yell and scream and insist that he's right.
Right, but
I am
you're talking over.
Want to hear what I say? He doesn't want to hear what I say because it's going to refute a lot of what he's saying, and the truth hurts.
That's how the debate goes.
That's how it goes, huh?
I said that's how the debate goes.
Let me tell you this. No, it doesn't. In debate, people are allowed equal time to get their points across.
All right, listen, you got real quick. Get to a point. Come on.
Okay, good. But Crawford knew the deal. If he would have stood on a principle, a foundation of principle, when he was made aware, he would have said, "Nope, I don't want to do it. I'm not going along with this." Okay, well, but if you don't go along, this fight won't be for that coveted undisputed title that you.
He's supposed to do that. He's supposed to tell Crawford, "This is what is expected of you in order for me to sanction this fight." He went ahead and sanctioned the fight without agreeing to the fee. He didn't think Crawford was going to win the fight. That's why he didn't negotiate it.
Man, now you're reaching. Now you're suggesting that Bud Crawford knew the sanctioning fees of all the other sanctioning bodies, but he didn't know the WBC.
Why did they let him fight for the title if he didn't pay the sanctioning fee?
Because they get paid afterwards.
No, they don't.
According to the rules, they have to pay beforehand.
Here's the rules. It's from their rules. I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read the rules again.
Don't read them again. Beeb, don't read them again.
You got to read them again. Solomon messed up there. I got no problem.
They didn't follow their own rule. It's their fault.
Well, they trusted him, and that was a bad mistake. It was a bad mistake to trust him because he stiffed him.
He already didn't
now,
pay
see, in the future.
The other sanctioning fee at 147.
All right, guys, we're not going to agree on this. Jerry, we're going to get running. We got a bunch of calls, so we got a few more callers. So let's go to 805. 805. You're live.
You're not making sense.
Nacho.
Beeb, calm down. Beeb, you're about to have a heart attack.
He's telling me 2 + 2 = 5, though. I'm reading him the rule.
Oh my goodness.
That's if someone tells me, Beeb, okay, they read me something, and I thought it was something else, but then they read me something, and it is, and it's factual. Then I back off the point. You've corrected me on the show several times. Have I conceded points, Eric? Even you, Nacho. Have I conceded points to you? Yes, I am reading him the rule.
Yeah, you've conceded that you lost in trivia. That's for sure.
I did. I am reading the rule to him. I am reading the rule to him. It's not Crawford's job to collect the sanctioning fee. It's their job
to collect the sanctioning fee.
And it says it in their rules. It has to be an agreed upon amount. It doesn't even say 3% in their rules.
No, it doesn't.
So
and he's the one that mentioned the 3%. Suleiman.
I am reading the rules. If you don't follow your own rules, if Eric has rules in his house and he's trying to teach his kids something, and he tells his kids, I want you to do this, and then his kids see him do the exact opposite, what do you think his kids are going to say? It's the same thing. If you have rules and you don't follow your own rules, then you can't expect other people to follow your rules. That's the point. It's that simple.
Without rules, there's chaos. Nacho.
Go ahead, Nacho.
What do you think about this? Weigh in on this.
The only thing I'm going to say, because I saw just a video where they talked to Suleiman. According to him, according to what Suleiman told these people on the video, he claims he never told Crawford he wanted 3% because of the purse that he alleges he got paid. He is claiming that the fee that they're charging was only 0.06%. So it wasn't even 3%, according to him, that he was asking. So
can I ask you a question real quick? Do we know exactly? Do we know exactly for a fact what Terrence Crawford made for that fight?
Nobody does.
No, Beeb, I agree with you. No one ever actually put out an official number.
20% on an undetermined amount of money. Again.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I heard was that supposedly Canelo got triple what Crawford got.
I heard Canelo making the same amount.
Making the statement that he got $150 million, supposedly.
I think Suleiman plays fast and loose with his own rules. I really do.
You can't expect people to follow your rules if you don't follow them yourself.
That's right. That's right. That's the point.
He ordered an interim title belt with 2 other fighters. And then instead of having them 2 fight for the interim title, he had Fulton and Shock Foster fight for it last night. So you again, I'm not going to defend an organization that doesn't follow their own rules.
Yeah, and where's all these fighters he's helping? Where's this retirement fund and everything like that? Where are all these fighters he's helping with all that money?
Yeah, I've only heard of a few fighters ever getting any kind of money from them. Like I've heard he helped Miguel Canto, and I heard he helped Jorge Arce and a couple other guys, but it's not a lot of guys that they help.
McClellan, Gerald McClellan's sister, I believe it's a sister, came out and said, yeah, they help us. They help us every month, and we always get the check. I haven't heard anybody step up. And how many? What is there, like 3 or 4? For 200, you're collecting 250,000? Talking about, come on, man. And then going and stay. All that money that he's having people pay, put him in high-rise hotels and suites and everything. Get out of here.
Then Wilfredo,
he's the worst. He's the worst. Even out of all the promoters, he is the 100. He is the worst.
Wilfredo Benitez
takes advantage the most.
Wilfredo Benitez was getting like $200 a month. I mean, it's better than nothing. But again, what are you going to do with $200 a month?
Yeah, right. What are you going to do with that? That's your pension. That's the pension for real.
Yeah,
come on, man.
I've heard of.
Give me a break.
I've heard of a few guys getting help by them, but not like.
No,
I've never heard them say like, "Oh, we have like a roster of 100 guys that we're helping."
Right.
You're helping a handful of guys, just like the clean boxing program is testing a handful of people.
Right.
Every now and then, but it's not. Nothing they do is consistent. That's all I'm saying.
Never. All right, Nacho, we're going to get running, man. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to Robert here. Robert, 530. You're live.
Hello.
Rob, can I ask you a question, Robert? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
You call into this show every week, right? Do you ever?
Yeah.
Have you ever been asked to pay a sanctioning fee?
No, and I would not either.
Oh, you'd pay for it. If I told you to pay for it, you'd come down and you'd pay for it, all right? That's the sanctioning fee.
No, I would not. Now, Eric, look, guys, I completely support what Terrence Crawford did here. And Beeb, you brought up a couple of good points that need to be explored here. This is not what I originally called about, but we might as well go with it.
The topic at hand.
Here's a couple of interesting points to explore here. None of the other sanctioning bodies have said a word. Terrence Crawford paid them. Nobody else has said anything.
First of all, I don't know that he paid him. I don't know. I don't know if he paid him or not. Well, but the WBC is the one with the biggest mouth talking about he didn't pay his bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, a couple of other things. Yeah, I heard somebody say that they're tax exempt. They're not a charity. Why the hell are they tax
They're considered a charity organization. It's considered a charity organization.
They're a nonprofit.
They're a nonprofit, and they're based in Mexico. So as far as taxes and everything, that we have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit.
Okay, all right. But why is it whenever these controversies come up, it always seems to be Suleiman and the WBC? That's,
you know why? Because they're corrupt.
Why do certain fighters get stripped and other fighters don't? Why does Jamal Charlo get to hold the belt for 3 years? Why does Canelo Alvarez hold the belt for 5 years, only make one mandatory defense against Yildirim, and then go for another 4 years and not have to fight a mandatory defense? And then you have another fighter who has mandatory status for 2 years, and you don't allow him to fight for the title. So again, you can't defend an organization who doesn't follow their own rules.
No.
I don't expect, if you don't follow your own rules, you can't expect others to follow your rules. You can't. That's simple.
That's correct.
We don't have 2 sets of rules. One for these guys, one for these guys. It doesn't work that way. If you're an organization, nonprofit organization at that, then listen, rules are rules.
You're not there to make a profit.
Then why have this agenda if you're not going to follow the rules?
then you know what should happen, guys? And of course, this won't happen. But all fighters that hold WBC belts should just drop them. You know?
Well, you know what? That may be what's going to happen if they all join TKO, because those belts aren't coming with them. So, yeah.
Look what they did to Bivol. They took Bivol's belt away from him.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, the one that's always been recognized is what? The ring belt as the undisputed champion. That was always the ring. And that's free.
He pointed out in that video that when he did the rant, he said, look, I wear the Ring magazine belt, and you know what? He said, they don't ask for a fee.
Yep.
He said, so I'm going to recognize the Ring magazine belt.
There you go.
You know, I know I completely support what he did, and I think other fighters should follow suit. Now, look at the women who fight for titles. Every single female that wants to fight 3-minute rounds, they drop the WBC belt because WBC doesn't want to recognize that.
Yeah, why is it that the WBC thinks they're better than the other three organizations and that they could do whatever they want?
Right.
And when they have to always go against the grain, and it's all about what we want and what we do. Like we're the standard bearers. Right. They're not even the oldest sanctioning organization. The WBA is around since 1921.
Right.
So who the fuck do they think they are?
Yeah, I don't get it. All right, Robert, we're gonna get running, man. We're gonna put you back on hold. All right, let's get to a few more news stories here. De La Hoya, funny enough, has come out against Terrence Crawford on his Clapback Thursday show and said, Terrence Crawford, you knew about this and you should have, blah, blah, blah. The WBC. We got a clip. There's a video clip of De La Hoya saying the exact same thing and calling the ring belt the undisputed, the best one in the business, right? So, listen, man. You can't talk out of both sides of your face and expect to, win that argument. Especially, hey, video's forever, man. Video doesn't lie. So
listen,
there it is.
People are acting like Crawford's the only guy that never paid a sanctioning fee before.
Right.
Cotto didn't pay sanctioning fees. Riddick Bowe didn't pay sanctioning fees.
Canelo.
Canelo. How many fighters have taken that WBC belt and told Mauricio to go fuck himself?
Right. A lot.
I mean,
right?
like we're acting like this. Bivol just told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah. And this guy's got a good point too. He says, not a fan of Dana, but at a time when sanctioning bodies should be on their best behavior, they display more blatant corruption. He's 100% right.
Yeah,
he's 100% right.
You can't respect an organization that doesn't have its own integrity and morals. If they're not going to do what they say they're supposed to do, then you can't expect the fighters to.
No.
If you're not going to,
that's it.
I'll keep repeating it. I don't care. If you don't follow your own rules, then you can't expect others to follow them. It's that simple. I don't understand why that's such a complicated concept.
Hey guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, go ahead and like and subscribe for us. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps us out. It really does with the searches and everything else, man. So help us out, man. Hit the like button. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson is now set for January 31st in New York City. Beeb, that's a solid fight. That has been signed. That is a solid fight. Shakur is the early favorite. I like Shakur. I think he's going to win. But Teofimo comes up big in big fights. So he's
the problem. I'll go back to it. The problem is the styles. I hope it doesn't turn into a stinker.
It could. And Shakur, every time Shakur steps in the ring, it could go that route.
It could go bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could go bad.
Absolutely. Usyk was interviewed this week. He said he wants to face Deontay Wilder next, which I thought was kind of weird because Deontay is not really anywhere close. He hasn't been active that much, but I don't hate it. I don't hate the fight. I mean, anytime Wilder steps in that ring, he is must-see TV. Even if you think he's washed or whatever the case may be, that power is always the last to go. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I hate saying this because it's a bit contradictory on my part, but Usyk's done so much. He's fought everybody. He's went everywhere. He's went in people's backyards. He's been the underdog and won. And I hate saying this, but even though I think the fight's kind of a ridiculous fight, I don't think Wilder has a shot. I think Usyk deserves a soft touch. He's never. When was the last time he's had it goes against everything I believe. It's like I'm being a hypocrite because I don't like it.
But look, Deontay Wilder's not a soft touch, man. He's not. And even if he's past his prime, which we think he is, okay, and we've seen it, he's still got that punch, man. He's still got something left, right? He's still got something left.
Yeah.
I would favor Usyk in that fight, by the way.
I think everyone would.
But
you know?
I think you're 100% right. Mario Barrios, we learned last night, is training with Joe Goosen for the Ryan Garcia fight. B, will this make any difference?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think so either. I think Barrios is who he is, man. I just think he is who he is. This is interesting. Katie Taylor and Ronda Rousey are said to be in the works. Boxing Scene has reported that Taylor and Rousey are in talks, or the fight is actually in the works. Dana White has come out and said, no, that's nonsense. He doesn't believe it. So either way, it sounds like Rousey's making some kind of comeback, whether it's going to be in the UFC or boxing. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. Katie Taylor would annihilate Ronda Rousey in boxing, though.
I think so, too.
It wouldn't even. That's a walkover fight.
That fight would be a monster event, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
It would be a monster
event. Can you imagine? Put that in England or put that. Yeah, that's a huge fight. Huge fight anywhere. Mike Tyson has come out and endorsed the Ali Revival Act. This is a big deal for TKO and everybody looking to get that thing going. That's a huge deal that Mike Tyson endorsed that, because now you have a boxer, a name boxer, who's bigger than Mike Tyson. Ali, Mike Tyson, those guys are household names, right?
I think.
Who else are you going to get?
I think outside of Ali, Mike Tyson's probably the most recognizable combat sports athlete in the history of the earth.
Absolutely.
My opinion.
Absolutely.
You could argue he's one of the most recognizable athletes ever. Yeah. Right? Ever. Yeah. And the whole world knows who Mike Tyson is.
Right. So, man.
Anytime you can get him to be on board with anything,
Exactly. And then the International Boxing Hall of Fame class of 2026, Triple G headlines that class. Gennady Golovkin, no question there. Beeb, I don't have a problem with that. Do you?
No.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Nigel Benn gets in, and that was really nice to see, actually. And my man Antonio Tarver lead the class of 2026. Kevin Iole is getting in.
I've talked to him a few times. He's one thing I could say, he's a pretty decent guy, but yeah.
I don't know. What are you gonna do? All right, let's see here. Let me go to 516. I believe that's New York. We'll take a couple more here before we call it a night.
This is Jesse. What's up, fellas?
Jesse Reekin, what's up?
What's going on? Eric, are you on suicide watch after that Bengals performance?
Oh, man, they just about had it done. And man, that defense. I tell you what,
they were going to win.
I did too. I did too. I felt that from the beginning of the game, man. But man, that defense and that offensive line's got to go.
Yeah, that was just crazy. That was a war yesterday. Beeb, I love when you get heated, man. I gotta go back.
The problem is, can I just tell you real quick? Eric hates it when I do it.
That was radio.
Go ahead, Jesse.
That's radio gold. Yeah. Oh man, what a war yesterday. Cruz and Roach. I love the fight. I don't like, and I don't know if I'm in the minor opinion here. I thought the draw was a fair call. I thought the ref favored Roach in the beginning. I don't know. It was like right away he's like, keep it up, and Cruz is like hitting the body. I'm like, keep what up? And then I don't know. I feel like he kind of like slowed down his momentum after he got the knockdown. I don't know, man. I was like, I don't know. That ref is against Cruz or something here. But and I think the point deduction was BS. But Roach did adjust. He won most of the rounds. I feel like he lost a couple because Cruz came back and stole a couple rounds with the last 30-second fury. So yeah, I don't know, man. I thought the draw was a great fight, and I would love to see a run back on that. And O'Shaquie Foster, man, put him. I mean, an ass whooping for 12 rounds. I mean, do we have another top tier here? I mean, O'Shaquie might be the real deal. Lara showed his age, but I loved the card yesterday. You know, I missed the show. I missed the beginning of the show. That's my bad. I don't know about you guys though, but I loved the card.
That was terrible. It was terrible. I didn't like it at all, man. I didn't like it at all. All right, go back to the queue. All right. Thanks so much for calling. All right, let's see here. Who do we got left? 760 California, right? Southern Cal.
I told you we're going to get
California. It's your boy. It's Brian. Come on.
Don't cut him off. Don't cut him off. Don't cut him off.
You forgot about your boy.
I miss
what up,
Brian?
Eric? It's been a minute, homie.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Every time I try to call in, you see 760, you automatically click. You cold, man. You cold.
Listen, that's how I do it.
Listen, he put your call on the block list. He put your number on the block list.
Yeah, you have me on block.
I had to talk to the team, man, to unblock your number.
I'm back, man. I'm back. Hey, man, look, you guys shouldn't have put Jesse on first. He took everything that I was getting ready to say. Everything, man.
Gotta be more.
So,
if you can't be original and you don't have,
if you can't follow Jesse Rican,
I don't know what you're Jesse Rican. I mean, come on.
I'm gonna talk about something else.
Go ahead.
I can talk about something else. Look, hey, so you guys know when it was Ryan against Devin Haney, I was going with Ryan. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan won. Okay, nobody was thinking Ryan was going to win. On this one, I'm going to go with Barrios. I think Barrios might beat Ryan. Does that sound crazy?
Yes. I think Barrios, under any kind of lights, any kind of circumstances, any kind of crowd, any kind of anticipation, folds.
But that's how I feel too. But then, for some odd reason, he pulled it off with Ugas. Remember, after Ugas beat Pacquiao, and it was Ugas against Barrios, and he pulled it off then.
He wasn't a main event then.
So
was that fight even a main event, Beeb? That was like an undercard fight. Ugas and Barrios.
It was.
That wasn't a main event, was it?
That was an undercard fight.
It's got to be an undercard fight. Somebody asked me how the women's fight. Somebody asked me how the women's fight was this weekend. How do I know? What do you think I'm gonna know that?
You was watching it. You and
I wasn't watching it.
Rob. You guys was watching it together down in the basement. Rob still live in your basement or what?
I still live in my basement. I don't sleep on my couch most days now.
Nah, but hey, man, I'm telling you, I just got a feeling Barrios might pull this off, man. I'm sorry to tell you guys. I'm sorry.
All right, Brian, man, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it, man. We're going to get you back in the queue. He said, who said there was 3,000 people for Barrios Ugas? All right. Beeb, any parting shots?
For Brian?
For anybody.
No. I got to calm down, man.
What are you doing?
I'm just going crazy here with that. I can't accept the 2 + 2 = 5 argument, man. So when I'm reading you something word for word and you're still not going to believe what I'm reading yet, like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. I'm gonna lose my mind when I'm reading something and you're telling me what I'm reading is not what I'm reading. Like that emblem right there says Ringside Reporter, does it not?
It does.
So if someone tells you that says Ringside Jackass, and I can read that it doesn't say that.
Would never say that.
Would never. So I mean, you can't tell me 2 + 2 = 5. I just, if you don't have a counter argument, then you have to beat me with logic. Don't beat me with emotion.
Can't beat you with logic. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I mean, every now and then this volcano of knowledge erupts, and once the lava of knowledge just starts flowing out of this body, it enlightens everybody.
Joe, get off my lawn, beef. All right, we'll end it there. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. You find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporter.com. You can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you next week.